Welcome back. My name is Mark Anthony Dubois Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I have to talk about a comment again. It's makes for easy content for me to continue to keep on doing, talking about these dogs and talking about people. And this video, in reality, I want to talk a little bit about dogs, but talk about a problem that I see go on in us as humans, and why we're always struggling, and why we're just not getting anywhere. Why it's the year of 2024 and yet we still drive the same cars as 1918. Why we're just not progressing. Why there's still just an iPhone, what do we have, 16 today? And it's the same as the first one. We're not progressing. We get things a little bit better, but we're not like doing leaps and bounds like I could say is what we used to be able to get to this point that we are today. We're just, we're failing is all I can say. And the reason I believe that we're failing is something from a mindset, from a simple comment that some people are just, y'all just too honest. I'm honest. I tell you everything that's going on, and I believe that's why it's easy for me to just keep on talking about what it is that I do. But some of y'all are so honest that you shouldn't be honest, because you're gonna start limiting, like in reality, who wants to be around you and who is with you. I may go deep on this video. I haven't really pre-thought anything that I'm about to say, and I just kind of already have an understanding of where I'm about to go. So if you get triggered, just deal with it, get through it. You'll be okay. And if you just have a need to, like, I'll put that video out that some of y'all got super triggered, which you shouldn't be in reality. You should just hear some information and move on. Because at the end of the day, the one thing I'm going to say right here is, as much as I see how we all are divided, how everyone's like, I'm on this side, I'm on this side. When you really get down to the core of understanding of everything, we're kind of like, we're very similar. We all want the same stuff. But the person that wrote this, you don't want the same stuff as me. That's kind of why I want to talk about it, because most of everything that everyone says, even though we don't agree, there's no reason for us to all agree. I hope we all don't agree. That's the coolest thing about us compared to like cows and sheep and goats. They all do the same stuff, man. But we do different things. We drive different vehicles. We wear different clothes. We exercise and do different stuff. We learn different things. We are different. It's the coolest thing possible. But when someone is like, I got to shut you up and shut you down and you can't have a voice, that's where I think that we have problems. But the biggest thing here is, it's okay to not agree. It's okay to have a different opinion. It's okay to even express that opinion. But it's, what I'm going to say is, it gets down to the level of not okays when you're trying to come in and forcefully try to change someone to be and do something, where I am not about that. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. I don't care. You do it over there, I'm going to be over here. Even if we had a end of world scenario and you had your land there, I had my land here, you do what you do over there. I don't care. I'm going to do what I do over here. And we just keep it like that. And at the end of the day, if you do something to mine the way that you do to yours, I'm going to take it as that's my fault. Why is my stuff in your area? So it's my fault. It's not your fault. You were just doing what you was doing. But I got to take care of what I got to take care of. And living that way is very, I'm going to say, peaceful, because I don't need to try to convince anyone to do what it is that I do. I could just give some information and hope that, you listen, and you may get something of it, or you may not. But this comment here, this one really got me. Talking about the whole concept is all fun until the dog picks up something and it's like poisoned or something. And if you're already thinking that way, you're already in this, man, the word that I was thinking of on that treadmill running today is man, what was that word? What's that word? Main character syndrome. You believe that it's just you on this planet and everything is out to either give to you, or everything on this planet is you to be able to do whatever you want to be able to do to. And when you're living that way, you're living in a reactive way. You're not living peacefully. You're always looking over your shoulder, what's around, what's coming up, what's here, what's there, because that's how this whole this whole comment is all about. And it's something that is just tragic, because these are the people that are, you better do it my way, and your way isn't valid. Your way is stupid. Your way is worthless. Your way is not going to do nothing. Your way is meaning. You're not going to get nothing with your way. For me personally, I'm able to see the results with my stuff, with my own things, with people I help, with people that want to listen to me, that go the direction that I want to be able to go. I see us getting what I want to say is the results that we're all looking for. And it says this silly, new, positive, gentle, positive, vibey, new age vocabulary. Instead of just teaching the dog to leave it means right now or get smacked. I would never want to teach my dog to, if you don't do what I'm saying, you're going to get smacked. And it says I'm 100% not feeling guilty about my dog being afraid of an incoming leash slap if it does not leave it exactly when I say to. That leash slap was saved her life at some point. It's just very interesting that this is how a lot of people think. I'm about to go half a deep for a second. But this isn't only with a dog. I guarantee you do this with your girlfriend or your wife. I guarantee you, you do this with your children. I guarantee you, you do this with, please, I hope you're never like a boss that has employees, because you're going to do that to your employees. I guarantee you just do that across the board with everything. You don't listen to me? Smack that kid. You don't listen to me? Smack that dog. You don't listen to me when your wife doesn't do something correct, or you just beat her down, destroy her, and just talk worthless nothingness to her to try to make it feel and seem to be absolutely nothing on this planet, that it has to obey you or else. That is a horrible way to live on this planet. Again, living that way, you are in constant fear of what's going to happen to me. And, hey, Johnny, you deep my face. Watch out. You're in constant fear of what's going to happen, what's going down, where is this, why is this, there's danger here, there's danger there, because that's how this text is. You're constantly talking about danger, 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 danger. Oh, my dog is this, my dog eats this, my dog goes over here this, my dog does this. It's like the world that you're living in is the one that you're creating to be dangerous, and you want to apply and put that on everything else around you. That is a horrible way to live on this planet. That is a person that you believe and perceive to be, I'm adding some more triggering words in this because I'm going to use the name of Jesus, that you believe that you are the one, you are it. No one else is you. You are the master. You are the show. You are the premium of it all. You are just everything. And then when you believe that you are everything and nothing is greater than you, that you are just the top notch, the best thing on this planet, you are always, always, always hoping and wishing that someone doesn't take that from you. You are always looking at I'm using always and nevers here because this is what I see and know and believe and read and studied and researched about people like this. You are always worried about somebody that is going to challenge you, that is going to take your authority away. That's why you have to go to slapping. That's why you got to go to abuse. That's why you got to go to destroying. That's why you got to go to downgrading. That's why you got to go to all of that. Because you're scared that something is going to be able to bring you down. You're scared that someone's going to see who you actually truly are inside. Scared. You're scared, you're nervous. You're nervous that if something else is overpowering you, that you're just gonna float away into abyss and nothing's gonna want to be around you anymore. That's the part of the ego that I believe that people aren't really understanding. You're always on this, if I say you have a huge ego because you want to beat somebody, yes, because there's a clear, way better way to be able to approach life. It's not about abuse. It's not about slapping. It's not about striking. It's not about hitting. It's not about that to be able to get your message effective and clear. If you have to do that, that means that straight up, your vocabulary is so small. It's small. Your actions are small, very, very limited. You're not looking at the abundance that is out here. And that to me is unfortunate because a lot of people are like this. A lot of people are because to me personally, this is the part where I believe that it's like that because so many people don't have faith anymore today. Because you don't see the unlimited. You're like, I gotta do this. This is all that I can do. This is all that I can get into. This is all that my options are. No, you can go there. You can go there. You can go there. You could not do anything. You could be homeless and live on the streets and just pitch a tent and collect free food and get free clothes and get free health care. My goodness, you get better. You get taken care of better in the United States of America being homeless than if you actually had a quality job somewhere. If you're cool with just living on the street. But that's the downfall, but some people that's fun. But that's just all that is there. You just have this limited, this is all I can do. You have unlimited to do here. It's not just this. And when someone says, I don't care, if my dog is scared of me because I slap my dog, I'm fine with that because I'm saving my dog's life. Oh my goodness, that is just how are we drilling this in? Because I know this for a fact, don't nobody know me. You don't know how I grew up. You don't know anything about where I am. You just see and hear what I'm saying and assume that I've been this my whole life. I'm going to straight up be honest and say I used to be one of the most ruthless people that you would ever meet in your life. I know I was. And that's why for me, I have hostile relationships with old stuff in my life because I was you're not going to be more ruthless than me. I'm going to smack the heck out of you to tell you what to do and I don't care. I don't care. This is who I was. I would talk down to you. I would demean you. I would destroy everything about you with anything that I could pinpoint and see about you. I would learn as much information about you as I possibly could just to absolutely destroy you. I wouldn't care to put my hands on you. I would just smack you around. I'd look at the dog and just smack the dog. I'd kick the dog. I mean, I've done crazy stuff in my past. Ruthless things in my past. And ruthless things has been done and happened to me. That's why I realized that the stuff just does not work. It doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you to always look over your shoulder. As soon as you smack that dog that first time, you're looking over your shoulder of what's going to happen. What is it going to do to me now? Where is this? As soon as you smack your wife, you're always looking over your shoulder. Is she gonna, as soon as you try to smack your best friend or beat your best friend down, you're always looking over your shoulder. What are they gonna do now? What's coming next? And that is a soft way to live. A strong way to live is to be open and honest and being able to actually effectively communicate. That's hard. It's easy to smack a dog. That's easy. A child could do that. That's easy. That's not even a child could do that. Another animal could do that. That's easy to just smack a dog around. It's easy to just slap a e-collar on the dog and just keep blasting it to get it to stop doing something. That is so easy. That is easy. That's beyond child's play. That's beyond kindergarten. I can give a 3-year-old a button to push it on the dog and keep holding it until the dog complies. That's all that they were doing in science projects, putting the taser on the dang dog's tail and turning it off when the dog finally did what they were looking for. That is easy. It doesn't take no skill. It doesn't take no learning. It doesn't take no wisdom. It doesn't take no understanding. It doesn't take nothing. No training. That is easy. But to actually be able to effectively communicate to something that doesn't know your language, doesn't even know like human concepts at all, and be able to effectively get it to work with you. That's where the beauty of being able to how to understand and be able to live on this planet starts to really bring you more and more joy. But when you go into just smacking and hitting and hooting and hollering, you're struggling. And I know you're struggling. I know you're struggling. I just met a guy today. I didn't meet a guy. I ran into a guy today. Someone got a flat tire. Man, y'all people's out here struggling. Someone got a flat tire, and I'm just driving. I got to get to an appointment. And I stop. I shut my gate. I get out. Man, he's sitting there yelling at me. I don't need no help. I'm fine. I'm just like, it's okay, buddy. I'm not here to take the show from you. I'm here to get out of my way because I live here. And it's fascinating to see how everyone is just so quick to just, I don't need no help. I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. I got to figure it out. And you actually do need help. You actually don't know what you're doing. You actually are hurting and struggling right now. You actually are in a very vulnerable place that you don't know where to go. So that's why you have no choice but to lash out like a child like that. That's what we need to get out of as humans. That's why, unfortunately, why do you think we keep going to war? Because of people with mindsets like this. If I slap them around enough, I'll be able to get my way. Oh, that didn't work, so I'm going to punch them around a little bit. Oh, that didn't work, I'm going to start to bring some weaponry out. Oh, that don't work, I'm going to bring some bigger weaponry out. That's why we keep going to war. Because we have people like this that are living in our planet that believe that their way is it and they're right. Because they're so soft inside. They're not strong inside. They're not strong at all. They're very, very soft. Very, very vulnerable. And they know that, but they don't want to show that. They know that deep down in their core. That's why they got to write so much. That's why they got to chant and yell so much. That's why they got to be so loud. That's why they got to be so firm, because they know inside there's nothing that's going on in there. That's why for me, at the end of the day, when it talk about this whole dog training war with the positive only, I don't even know who the positive only folks are that are trying to shut down everything else. Like, I'm trying to figure out who that group is. But the only thing that I can say here is they're fragile. They're so limited. They're so small with what they're thinking because they want to shut everything down. I'm not here. I don't care what you do. You put a prong on an e-collar on your dog, do what you do, man. Do what you do over there. But don't try to come to me. But don't come to me and explain to me that I absolutely have to do that or my dog isn't this. I don't need that. I don't care. I don't care what you do over there. I don't want to shut you down. You can do whatever you want to do. If you think that what you're doing is gaining and getting help, that's cool. I'm here for the people that said, you know what? I don't even want to go that route, and or I went that route and it just wasn't working for me. I'm here for that lane. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here to make everyone do and submit and fold and be who it is that I am. I definitely don't want that responsibility. That's not who I am. That's not what I represent. There's only one God on this planet that's created this, and go to that. Don't come to me. Go to that. I'm pushing it all off to there. It's not on my shoulders. And that's why for me, I don't care. I don't care what anybody does. All I do is I say, let's just try some different things out. For anyone right now that's got that e-collar on your dog right now that's saying to me, oh, my dog is perfect, my dog is fine, just do stuff, just test. We only have one life. We got one life to live. Just take it off and see what happens. Put a long line. Don't just take it off. Put a long line on your dog and just take your dog out, take it off. And in the moments that you usually would tap it, just test it out. Try something different. That's all that I say. That's all that I would, at the end of the day, recommend. Just try. See what happens. See what goes down. Does your dog blow you off? Does your dog not listen? Does your dog listen? What goes on? What's going to happen here? And just see if you can figure out how to work through it. And then if you just keep going and going and going, you're like, this isn't going anywhere, I don't know what to do, then stick the collar back on and keep living your life. but just try it. That's all that I'm going to say, because that's all that I did. That's all that I did. When I started getting into a new way of trying to figure out how to learn and work with these dogs, when I was hearing Robert say, you know, that e-collar and this, and I had one on my dog, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try it. I went back to the basics. 6-foot leash. I just use 6-foot leash with my dogs. I don't really use the 20-foot because where I go, it's just too complicated. I went back to 6-foot leash. I put a flat collar on the dog and took the e-collar off, and I just started walking with the dog. I took it back to the day one basics. Because the dog, he was fine off leash, perfect in reality. If he got into something, I just tap, dude would shoot right back, get back. I only have to tap it once a week, if that. And I was like, I'm pretty cool with this. But for me, I just didn't want that. I got sick of charging the thing and like remembering to charge it, and like it was just too much for me. You know, that to someone else that's easy, but to me it was just too much. And I just had to like know that it worked, and if the battery wasn't right, and I was like, I can't go for a walk, because there's like 3 times that battery wasn't this, and I was like, I can't go out today. It was just too much for me. Just me, you know. Someone else, you don't care. Someone else, that stuff is like, I mean, the pretty price is like $300, $250, and so it's like a fancy purse in reality that you got on your dog. So I get it, you like it, but I would just take it off and just see what happens, because that's all that I did. I took it off my dog and I started to see, okay, what's going on, Kahi? And then he got into something, I forgot what it was, and I said, here, the boy didn't come. He didn't come instant, because he knows, because mine's got the little wings on it, so it's because he got the longer hair, so it'll go through and get into his skin. So he knew it wasn't on. He knows when it's on and when it's not on. When it wasn't on, literally the first time that he like had opportunity, I got into something. So he got into something, he's pulling me. I'm like, man, I haven't felt this dog pull on a leash in a year. Like, man, it sucks when your dog's appeared to be good, and then it's just like all of a sudden it's doing some old maddening stuff. You're like, I thought we'd work through this. And I just stood there and said to myself, how can I work through this? How can I get past this without this piece of equipment right now? And I had to figure out a whole new way to go. I had to slow things down. And then when he started just walking with me and stopped doing stuff, I said, okay, you know what? I trust you, buddy. Took that leash off and just go. Just go. Do what you do. And he went, and he looked back. Not even gonna lie. He saw a deer. The dude's never chased a deer, ever. E-collar on, e-collar off before all the training. He's never chased. I've never even had to like stem the dude for like looking at and going after a deer. This dude took off at a deer. And I was like, man, I don't have no way to get this dang dog back. So I was terrified. Who wouldn't be terrified? The dog is gone. Places I walk to, they gone. It's cliffs. They gone. They gone. And I'm not going through that brush to be able to get to you. They gone. And thankfully, I'll say, the dog came back. But I believe it was because of me that I didn't do enough training and working with the dog to effectively explain to him what it is that I was looking for. So I shouldn't have took that leash off in that moment. I should have at least waited another day. So, and then after that happened, straight up, I didn't have any issues anymore. Because that dog, he saw that deer, he looked back at me, and he's like, what are you going to do about it? Anybody know a good German Shepherd? They communicate to you with silence, with just staring at you. And they just stop and they stare at you. And they're speaking a whole language to you, I'm telling you. And they're so smart. At the end of the day, I don't know why, but I like my Shepherd more than all the rest of the dogs because of how we can talk, we could work with each other. How I could just look. I don't even need to speak, I could just look. And this dude looked at me, and he had this like, I'm gonna go take off at that, what you gonna do about that? And I looked back at him like, nothing. I can't do nothing about it. That's when he went. And he went. And then he came back. He came back and he looked at me, and he's like, basically, you didn't do anything about that. Where are we going now? And me, I didn't do the classic, oh my goodness, I'm scared, leash him up. No, I said, you know what? Let's just keep going. I just brushed that off. Let's keep going. And he's never done it again. He's never even challenged me with my leash ever. He's never done anything ever, and I've never even had to put that collar back on him a single time again. I had one moment that he looked at me and he's like, what are you gonna do? And I said, buddy, we're good. We're good. We're fine here. And it was finished. It was over with. Someone could say, oh, that one situation, that could have been. But I don't live in a world of doom and gloom. I live in a world of abundance and grace. That's the world that I live in. I live in a world of learning that sometimes, even if, for instance, he got hit by a car, that would have been something that we had a learning experience with. Someone else may not be able to deal with that, but for me, and the way that I understand this life, knowing that, as dude says, this is a dangerous world. I know that it's a dangerous world. and dangerous stuff happens. That's why for me, I don't restrict the dogs too much to playing with the cows, knowing that the cows can kill a dog. My donkey can kill a dog. My them going and chasing stuff and running through a fence can kill a dog because there's a lot of barbed wire out here. I know that that's out there, but yet I still allow them to be able to move because they have to learn on their own with certain things like that. I can't just micromanage it. Someone can say, oh, that's risky. Yes, that life is dangerous, man. Life is sketchy. Life is not just perfect and everything's set up and everything's staged. There's just randomness that happens. And the more that we like work with that randomness, the better off we're going to be in the end. So when that randomness happened, that dude, he could have broke a leg. He could have lost a leg. He could have died. Anything could have happened. But in reality, it had to happen so that we could be able to get to and be in a better place. Not me just smack that dog and tell him, you better never do that again. No, I looked at him and said, I understand you, man. I understand you. I was putting too much on you. I was demanding too much from you. I was smacking you around too much. I was pressuring you too much. And I didn't need to do that because you already understand and you already know what it is that I'm looking for. And me being able to trust the fact that the time that we've had of what we've been doing, that he should and been known what it is that I'm looking for from him. And he proves to me every single day today and continuing on this past year and a half plus year that he looks at me and he says, I know what I'm doing. We're good. We're fine. And at this moment today, he no longer has dogs trying to bite him because dogs, he's been bit by a minimum of a dozen dogs. And I don't know why, but he was just the dog out there that dogs just had to bite. They would see him, they'll come up and just bite him. He never bit back. He's never bit a single dog. He's never done, but he does get bit. He's got scars. This dude's been through the battles because it was always, I don't know what it was. But the moment that I took that e-collar off, a couple weeks later, a dog never challenged him again, and all it goes into is play today. All that disappeared. It disappeared. The dude got bit many times. He's got scars everywhere. I can show you all the scars he's got. He's been bit so many times. And once I took that collar off and we got past that, I have never had an issue this past year and a half. I have never had an issue at all, period. I have never had an issue that he just didn't come back. I've never had an issue that he's ever taken off. I've never had an issue that I was worried that we're going to get into a fight with something. I've never had an issue. I've never had an issue that he's going to be growling and barking at people. I've never had an issue. But I had all of those issues before. So that's why for me, all I can say is try it. Just try it and see what happens. We're all out here able to just, we got one life, people, again, one life. And wouldn't you want to just try some stuff in your life as opposed to just going, what I want to say is straight up, this is just me. This ain't for everyone. We all want to go that safe route. I don't go to safe route. Clearly with what I do, with where I live, with everything I got going on. I do not go to safe route. I go the real world route of knowing that this world is dangerous. It's sketchy. It's terrifying some days. But I'm not going to live and be terrified because of the stuff that I'm putting out there. I'm going to just work around and be around. The more that I'm putting this, why for me, the more I was pressuring and putting pressure on my dog to perform and look away and his recall better be right. Every time I say it, you better be there. The more that the world literally was pressuring us. We were getting fought. We were getting attacked. We were getting beat down. We were getting just bum rushed all the time, multiple times a week, so many times. I don't know how many dogs have ran at him, but he's been bit so many times. And once I started letting that pressure off and living a completely different way in his lands, everything started to change. I'm no longer looking over my shoulder. I'm no longer on edge. And that's the thing that it doesn't make sense to somebody because most people need everything in control. You can't live without smacking your dog to get it to act right. You can't live without just smacking your kids to get them to perform right. But I'm telling you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I'm a kid that grew up. Smacking a kid doesn't work. It made a kid be ruthless. It made a kid be savage. It turned a kid into a young adult that turned into an absolute nightmare to want to be around me. I know that none of this stuff works. I didn't grow up with this, oh, it's okay, boy, get up, you'll be all right. No, I grew up with, I don't even want to talk about that, but I grew up in a way that most of y'all wouldn't be alive anymore because of some crazy stuff that went down. And it's hard to be able to think that that's going to be able to make things better. It doesn't. It destroys what you're working with to the point that you're always going to be on edge. Because I know for a fact, my parents are always on edge with me. They are always on edge. And I guarantee you, still to today, 38 years later, I haven't even been around the house for 20 years or so, that they're still probably nervous of me because of stuff that just went down. When you come in with pressure, you have to look over your shoulder at what's going to come back to me. What is that? We call that what? Like karma is what some folks try to call it. But it's just a way of just how the world is. Cause and effect. When you are out there putting pressure, expect that something else may come back at you. That's why you have to keep smacking the dog. You have to smack it harder. You have to smack it harder. You have to smack it more. You have to get firmer. You have to get more. You got to keep going further and further. You don't get to the point that you just smack it once and you're done. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And please, somebody show that to me. Prove that to me. Because what happens is you have to keep smacking the dog. You have to keep hitting the dog. You have to keep pressuring the dog. You just don't get out of it. You keep going further into it. That's what I'm here to say. We can get away from that when you stop doing that. It's going to be a hard transition because all I can say is straight up in a reality sense, something dangerous is probably going to happen. You're going to be scared. But being scared and getting through that fear to be able to get into what I want to say is clarity is the best way to go on this planet. As opposed to I'm nervous of what China's going to do. We go to war. No, what the heck? That's just what we do as people because we just don't understand how to like effectively just deal with our emotions. We just got to go fight. Let's go fight. Yeah, let's fight. It's just that's so small-minded. That's living in a small box. Whereas the abundance that is out here, the absolute abundance. Someone could say to me, the abundance of what I used to do compared to where I am and what I have. Y'all out here struggling eating? I'm telling you this, I'm not. Y'all here struggling working with dogs? I'm telling you, I'm not. Y'all here struggling with a lot of things that I'm just not. Because I see the abundance out here and realize I don't need to do what everyone else is doing. I could do what I need to do. I could stay in the lane that I want to create and live by that. That's the faith that I live by. I'm going in this lane. This lane is cool, man. This lane is amazing. This lane is calm. The simple stuff that I do in every single one of these videos, just most people, y'all can't replicate because you would be on edge with everything. I used to be. There's videos that you slap on a video of me 4, 5, 6 months ago, and you'll watch me just looking for the dogs like every 15 seconds. I don't even do that anymore because I don't care because everything is good at this moment because I learned how to be able to let all of that go. I learned how to just be able to just effectively communicate. Because when you're on edge, you're doing stuff to be on edge. And I got out of that. And I'm not on edge no more. I don't care. I know for, there's never 100%. But I know for a majority of a fact that I don't need to worry about what's going on with these dogs anymore with what it is that I'm doing. With anything that I'm doing. I can leave the gate open. I can walk in the house. I don't care. I'm good to go. I can stand, walk, and go wherever I want, anywhere on these lands. I'm good to go. I don't need to worry. I don't need to oh my goodness, there's a person, there's this, there's that, there's this. I don't need to worry about nothing. I have nothing. I no baggage of what could be, what should be, because I let that go with me being that, what I want to say is enforcer. That enforcer to put on. And most people, unfortunately, you don't know how to live this way because unfortunately, we haven't been taught this way. We're taught to enforce. We're taught to just smack it around. We're not taught a different way anymore. That's all that we're learning. That's all that we see from politics. It's all we see from our governments. It's all we see from our leaders. That's all that we see. That's all we see from our workforce even. Just get everything that we can, break them down, barely make sure that they're surviving, give them nothing, and live. That's not the way that we should be living on these lands. We should be doing everything we can to see the best in. But that's not what we do. And it's unfortunate that that's the majority of today. Destroy it, beat it down, slap it, spank it, just hit it, lash out at it, yell at it, scream at it, just do all that to it. That's how you get it to move. And that stuff, it works short term. It sure does. That's why some folks like it. But there's some other people on this planet that know how to do stuff long term. That's what I care about. Some of y'all only care about short term stuff, as if we're only living for 2 days. Live your life. Do what you do over there. I'm gonna tell you this right now, you're not gonna do that here. You're not going to come to me and come to my lands and come to here and tell me and be in me and dictate to me what I need to do. That's what I love. Oh, my goodness. That's one thing I can say. Still to today. I don't know about the future. But that's the thing I love about the United States of America. Y'all can't come here and tell me what to do, and I got no reason or desire to go over there and tell anyone else what to do. Ain't no one going to come here and say to me, oh, no, you can't have your dog like that. Your dog needs to be like this. Say, buddy, I can do what I want. And that's the most beautiful thing that I absolutely love, which is confusing to me. And why there's some people out here that believe that they want to try to shut it down and shut this down and do this because they think that that's it. That's the only way. And a lot of y'all are confused. Confused as all can be about certain people's methodology of what it is that they're doing. Some of y'all think that there's some people out here that are trying to just force everyone to be away. And it's not the case. Some folks, y'all do what y'all do. Do what y'all do. Do what y'all do. Keep doing what y'all doing. Keep having fun and keep making it with doing what you're doing. But there's one thing that I do know, just my faith and understanding of living on these lands. Anyone that's coming to this video of mine and listening to me, and y'all still listening, and y'all listening to I be talking for 30, 40 minutes. Y'all listening to that? Y'all dedicating 30 minutes of your day to listen to what the heck this foolish guy right here got to say. There's something that you're trying to still learn about. And there's something more that we're trying to be able to unite about, is what I want to say. Because I, in reality, do speak completely against what majority of dog training represents. But you're here for a reason. Because you're like, what is it that maybe I don't know, there's all kinds of reasons, but there's a reason, is all that I'm going to say there. There's a reason. There's a reason. I agree with majority of what everything is. There's little things that I'm just like, nope, let's tweak that, let's get out of that, let's do this instead. And that's what, in reality, is across the board with all of us. But for some reason, we got this, like, if I talk the way I talk, you automatically assume I'm like this, I'm over there with this. And that's not what this is about. And it's for sure not what it is that I do, what it is that I'm about. But there's something that I'm going to straight up say, if you're even able to watch more than 2 seconds of me, we relate in a lot of things. We got a lot that's in common. We agree on a lot. There's a whole lot that we're just like, yep, buddy, I hear what you're saying. Yep, buddy, I see that. Yep, buddy, that is good. And then I say something like, oh, man, heck no, I thought we was on board. But this is the coolest part that I'm going to say about it, especially if you're still here, that you can disagree with me and we could have a conversation. We could talk. I'm not here to yell at you and tell you you're wrong and you're stupid. I'm here to just say, hey, have you tried this? Have you thought about this? No? Okay. Well, whatever, You don't even want to try it? Okay, whatever. I threw that out there. I just threw it out. That's it. That's all that I'm here for. I just threw that information out. Get you thinking. That's it. Throw it out there. You try it, and you can say, that actually worked. I don't know why it worked, but it actually worked. It's getting better. This is what's happening. Then I can say, okay, cool. It's not me that did it for you. You did all the work. I don't do none of the work, none of this work that I train with people with their dogs. It's you doing the work. That's how it gets to be so great, because it's you. It's you. I'm not doing anything. I'm giving you the information, the understanding, the coaching needed, because some of y'all just need some assistance. You're doing good. Keep it going. And then it's you putting in all that work. And then you see things get better, 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 better. You're just like, wow, this is incredible. And that's all that I'm here for. You like your e-collar? Use it. If it's banned one day and you can't use it no more, that's you. That's all on you. Me, I'm just going to adapt to what it is that I'm going. If someone says to me that, I don't even know what someone can say to me that I can't do. Oh, that I could never have a dog off leash in public ever again, even though I'm technically not supposed to. No, there's a lot of off leash places around here, but certain places I go to technically say I'm not supposed to have it. If you said, hey, I never do that, I say, okay, whatever. I'll just put the leash on the dog. Put the leash on the dog. I'll just adapt. I'll move, and I'll be able to still get what it is that I'm looking for. But the problem is some people can't adapt, and they don't know how to adapt because all that they know is just using all of that stuff, and that's the people that are scared right now. That's why they're like, I need to stop all these petitions and stop all this stuff, because they don't know a different way. They don't have an idea of what to do another way. That's the part for me that it's just like, I wish that we would just, we call it agree to disagree, and just understand that if something were to get said banned, just know that we're fine. It's okay. Let them do what they do. Allow them you're not going to stop these. It's unfortunate because I just know this world too much. I'm just growing and learning and understanding. I knew a lot when I was just a little in the single digits kid, watching and learning and paying attention and just hearing what's going on. You're not going to stop the people from taking the tools in this country. The tools are going to disappear. It's going to disappear, unfortunately. If the farmers that made videos of teaching me how to be able to work cows and goats and stuff that are no longer allowed to be on YouTube, all of these people that are using prong collars and e-collars and all this stuff, y'all going to get shut down. It's going to happen. It might not be in 2 or 3 years. It's going to happen. Unfortunately, we all have a very good understanding of seeing if they could change the name of Fort Hood to Fort Cavas. I don't really know the name of the new one, but change even a name of a military base because it's like not socially appropriate. I don't know what it is. Cancel culture basically going on. You're losing the prong collar and knee collar. It's happening. It's happening. It's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but it's going to happen. And to me, at the end of the day, I can say it's unfortunate, but it's unfortunate for those that believe that that's the only way. And that's to me to say your box is too small, buddy. Let's expand it. Let's go into different things. But it's going to happen. And when it happens, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's why there's no reason in reality to fight back at it. Just let it happen as fast as absolutely possible. So we can just move on with life. And then we can move forward instead of just battling and fighting. We're fighting for no reason, battling for no reason. And we're going into disagreements when we agree on, like, I don't want to say 99, but 85% of the stuff we agree. And even if not 50%, you know, we half and half. I could agree with 50% of every single trainer that I ever speak to. And in reality, a lot of the stuff, I could agree with 85% of it. We all agree. But there's just little differences that we have to be able to just fine-tune our own lane, who we are. And that's what needs to be talked about. That's what I want to talk to as many people as possible about. I'm not here to tell you you're dumb and you're stupid and you're worthless and what you do is meaningless and you're hurting this and doing this. No, I'm going to say, you know, I want to hear, because the big thing is, I don't care what I think and feel. It's a matter of what you think and feel. And someone else to explain that, to say, hey, you know what, this is where I'm at. This is how I view it. I'm like, okay, that's how you view it. Now this is how I view it. Okay, I hear how you view it, but this is how I view it. And that's a conversation that needs to constantly keep going back and forth. Not just shut up, shut it down, make it disappear, and that's wrong, that's no good. No, a dialogue needs to be there, but at the end of the day, that's not for everyone. Some people aren't able to do that. Some people aren't able to take critique. Some people aren't able to hear that their method isn't really the best method for all. Because this is the biggest thing that I want to say there. Because some people, some of these trainers out here think that their method is all. That's it. That's finished. Everyone needs to do this. Every dog needs this. That's the part when someone speaks that way, I'm like, I don't know, too many people on this YouTube that be trying to battle me even with what I say, that's the way that they think. If you think that way, there's no communication. There's no talk. There's just nothing. I'm not that way. I'm not that way at all. Someone could say to me, you know what, this dog right here needs a prong collar. I'm going to look at it and say, you know what, maybe that's what that dog needs with you, with what's going on. Is that maybe what's right? I don't know. Who am I to judge that? There's only one thing to judge, and that's a God to me, to be able to understand. That's for you to be able to say, are you able to deal with? But for me, I'm not going to smack my dog. For me, I'm not going to slap a prong collar on my dog. For me, I'm not going to put an e-collar on my dog. For me, you get me. I use slip leashes here and there, but not in the sense of working the dog, but in the sense of when I wash my dogs, I put it in it because it's fast and easy. Wash the dog. That's the only time I use it. I don't even know what else. I don't even use those. I don't even have, that's it. So if you see that I own one, that's why. I got one. I own an e-collar. I own two of them. I got 2 systems of them. I own many prong collars somewhere. I don't know where those are right now. I still have all the stuff. I own it all. So someone can come here and say, oh, look, you got all this stuff. Look at you. You're bad, you're bad, you're bad. But I don't use it. And I don't feel like I need to use it. I slap a harness on my dog. Well, a lot of trainers will say, that's stupid. I slap harnesses on. I paid a lot of money for my harnesses. I use a bungee leash on my dogs. So like, a bungee leash? Yeah, I got a bungee leash that I take my dogs in the public with. What's up, rooster man? You can get out of here. This is a really pretty rooster. I don't know if you can see him or not. He's the coolest. He's so soft. he's not aggressive. My heritage breed chickens, they're so soft. They're sweetest. All the roosters are sweet. They're not aggressive. I see a lot of aggressive ones out there, but he's really cool. Oreo, come here. Hold on. When he get the bucking and clucking, that Oreo got a border collie. He's like, "What's up, man? What's going on?" For me, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm seeing the results that I'm getting. I'm not here to burn the city down because of what I see someone else doing, and that's the part with me that I think that makes it that. Why, for me, still, I want to be able to open up dialogue and conversation with folks, to be able to explain what it is that I do, you explain what it is that you do, without it having to be this bickering, childish match. Unfortunate, like watching our presidential stuff, hearing these guys and these girls talk, it's like it's so childish. It's like, what the heck, people? Let's have a real conversation, because my way isn't it. I know it's a way, and it's a way for a lot of people, but it's not for that person, clearly for this guy that thinks that I could just slap a dog or girl. I don't know what gender you are, but you stuck on that. That's just what you do. Cool. I got no dialogue in reality if that's all that you see it to be. If you think the only way I'm going to be able to get success with my dog, if I got to slap the dog, I have to pressure the dog. I have to do this. That's just that. Then keep doing what you're doing. But the problem happens is, what if I'm gonna say what if. When does it happen that all this equipment is banned? Then what? What's gonna go down? What's gonna happen? Is everyone's dogs gonna be running a fool and going crazy? No, people are gonna adapt. People are gonna adapt, and people are gonna continue to keep on working and continue to keep on moving forward. And things are gonna be perfectly fine. I'm gonna end up having to go get certified in a way that they tell me to be able to do it, because more likely the way that I work dogs today is goes on board with what they do. I just don't use treats. I really don't use toys. I work the dogs. I give them a game of work. And then I just play and hang out with, and not play, but hang out with the dogs. So yeah, I don't use a treat. So the treat trainers, y'all do what y'all do. But I'm more likely to be able to easily get certified because I do everything the same. Just I don't do that part of it. And if they might challenge me with saying, "Oh, you're putting a dog in too much stress, you got to remove the dog from that," then okay, I'll just adapt. I'll adapt. I'll have to slow my progress down. I'll say a little bit, but not just destroy everything about me, because I understand it. I understand it. I understand why there's a whole group of people that want to try to destroy a whole nother different group of people. But the biggest thing is both y'all on the same team. Both y'all on got the same desires and the same end. Both y'all are looking at the same thing as your end result. To me, I don't want the end result of having to slap my dog around. I don't want that. I don't want that. That's me. And I'm not going to tell you not to do that. You want to slap your dog? Please don't do that. Just, please don't slap the dog around. Just stop that. If you got to do that, something wrong with you. It's not the dog. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. Lay off on the dog. The dog, lay off on the dog. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Just lay off. But there's a whole bunch of stuff out here that all these trainers can say and do that I understand your approach. Some folks are looking out for the best of being able to help out. But the main thing is, are you trying to help out in a way to just make you money? Or are you trying to help out in a way of actually helping out? There's a reason. We got to make our money. We got to make a living. But making a living, doing it in what I want to say is fair, compassionate, caring way, or a malicious, vindictive, manipulative way. There's two differences here that go on. Where the unfortunate thing is, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this. The folks that want to shut everything down, Oreo, the folks that want to shut it all down, that want to cancel all the equipment, they want to cancel it all, they want to do all that, my personal opinion, I don't know everything, but I believe that they're the ones that are doing it in a malicious way, not in a caring way. They're trying to do something to gain something that is not healthy for us. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Anybody that wants to try to cancel and shut everything down, it's not healthy. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy. I don't care if it goes on board with me saying, I don't like this equipment, I don't like this. It's not healthy to do that. It's not healthy. They can do what they do over there. And if you want to figure out a new way because that's not working and or you just don't like that route, I got a different route to be able to explain to you. Oreo, come here. Get down. I got a whole different route, just like there. Someone will say, man, dude, yeah, I'm firm. I'm not soft. I'm not this, that word I like people say, I'm not the soy boy. So someone could say, what's going on? I'm not going to use my leash. I'm going to use my presence of being able to effectively communicate. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm just going to be direct. I'm going to be just firm with what I'm saying and what I'm looking for, and I'm done. And I'm finished. I'm not going any more than that. Any more than that, that's, for me personally, at the end of the day, that's what I classify and say would be abuse. If this dog not stopped chasing this chicken, and I had to go and, because he would already have the equipment on, have his e-collar on, and I have to just keep stemming him and stemming, I would never get out of the stem with this dog. Never. Same with my shepherd. I just never got, I had times when it was all right, but I just would never get out of it with him because his drive is so high, so hard, so there, that I'm going to be correcting every day, multiple times a day. I just wouldn't get out of it. That for me is what I would say is I don't want that. I don't like that. And that's for me that I don't like it. Someone else could say you're cool with that, but I don't like that. I don't care for that. I want to go a completely different way. Thank you. Oh, get down. Or go home. Okay. Go home. You're good, Johnny. Oreo, go home. That's what I can say is discipline. We have to have discipline. It's not a free-for-all. We have to have boundaries. My first boundary is that 6-foot leash. I put that leash on, you're staying with me. You're relaxing, you're being calm with me. I'm putting boundaries in place. I'm not allowing the dog to just run around and run a foo and just do whatever it wants, when it wants. There's boundaries. And if you break those boundaries, there's, at the end of the day, saying it, there's that consequence that's going to happen from breaking that boundary. So for him, he's like, I'm going to keep chasing these chickens around. There's consequences. You're going to go home. You're not going to be out here with me then. You want to come out here and hang out with me and stay in the boundaries that I've placed, cool. But as soon as you want to break that, you're not in it no more. And his boundary is go home. It's just stay on the patio. Stay on the patio. You're just staying over there, buddy. That's where you're going. You're not coming out. So there's consequence. That's his consequence. And he knows, man, I got to go home. And he does. He looks at me like, man, I don't want to go home. I just want to be out here. Because for one, his drive is high. He wants to chase. He could chase and move these chickens like literally 24/7. The dude wouldn't get tired. He would go, and then when he gets a little tired, because it's a different game that he could just, he doesn't need to go all out in it. He works, he slows down, he works, he slows down, he pushes, he slows down, he pushes. He could just do that all day. All day he could just keep going and going and going. Going and going and going, never letting it off. Hours and hours, literally all day, because I've seen him do it. He could just keep going. But I don't want that, because I don't want to put the pressure on the animals. So I put a boundary in place. When we're out here and we're not moving the animals, we're not working the animals, you are not allowed to do that without me saying that we're doing this together. I put a boundary in place. Consequence, you don't listen, you're just going home. Just stay at the house. You're not here. And that's very, very clear language, without having to go to the point of me having to put something around his neck and having to stem the dog, having to choke the dog, having to pump pressure the dog in any way like that. I'm using a whole different way to effectively communicate. And since when I do that, I don't need to keep doing it over and over and over again. There's something that is more powerful to me. I don't know why. I know how to work getting these dogs' brains. I know how to get deep in the dog's brain. That I don't need to punish the dog in a way of physically manhandling the dog. I know how to do it better in a way that is not psychologically damaging, but just very, very just simple. Simple. Yes? No. Simple. Nothing complex. When it's simple, I don't care what's in my dog's mouth. I say, hey, out, and the dog drops it. Simple. Nothing complicated. I don't need to go. I don't need to drag. I don't need to do nothing. Just simple things to do. And when you go down that route, you don't have a dog that's constantly pushing back at you. It's just pushing. Because I've done it. I've done it. It's not like I watched the video and I can't stand an e-collar. No, I've had it on them. I've had it on myself. I've done it all. I know what it feels like on me. I know what it looks like when you're using lower numbers. I know what it looks like when you're using higher numbers. It's just my opinion, to how I know what proper e-collar training is. If you have to constantly keep using a low number, get out of that. You need to bump it up to a 70, an 80, a 90, hit it once and be done with it. But the thing is, some dogs, that doesn't work. That's how my Border Collie is. That's how my Shepherd is. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. They'll just feel it and push through and do it anyways. They'll stop today and then tomorrow they'll do it again. And then they'll do it again. And then they'll do it again. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse in reality. If you're just using that low number over and over and over, get out of that. That's not the way to actually really train the dogs with that piece of equipment. You're not doing it right. You got to bump that number up and tell that dog, no, I don't want that. But for me, I know how to say that no without having to use that sort of pressure, without having to use any psychological mind game pressure, with just being able to communicate. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And it starts with having a dog on a leash and getting that dog to be able to be calm with you. Once you're able to get that dog to be able to be calm with you, now you're speaking to the dog. And most of y'all can't even do that. You can't stand still in one spot for 15 seconds even, and your dog just stay there and hang out and just lay down and relax. You can't do that. You can't simply do that. That's all that I do in reality, to be able to get to the dogs, to be able to listen to me. And once they listen to me, then I can say, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. This is how I want you to do it. This is where I want you to go. You're doing that, then this. And it's clear. It's not hostile. It's not we're fighting with each other. It's clear. I tell him to go home, and that boy will stay there. He's falling asleep right now. He's done. He's like, okay, I'll just lay down. I'll go to sleep. And he's finished. It's not like he's challenging. He's not coming back out and trying to keep doing. No, he's like, okay, you said we're done. We're done. Done. Finished. It's that simple. But for some reason, everyone thinks that you need this stuff. That's the small part. There's an unlimited abundance out here.